Okay, children, this is going to be your fixed schedule. Okay, so this is the order in which classes are going to happen henceforth. So hereafter, I'll not be giving you the timetable, and then you don't have to ask for the timetable. The timetable is going to be fixed. Okay, so the 9:40 class would be bio. Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so this is going to be the fixed time. So 9:40 class is this one, and then 10:50 class is this one, 2:20 class is this one, and 3:30 class is this one. I don't know about English. This is the seekers timetable for all the schools in common. Okay, the 11th standard JE batch will have this particular order. So this is going to be the fixed schedule hereafter. So you can just note it down, and please don't ask me every day hereafter. This is the fixed schedule. Like till if there is some change, like we'll let you know. Okay, so we can start the class now. Okay, so we have completed till cell wall yesterday. So now we'll move on. Okay, just a second, hang on. I'm just like getting ready. Okay, so now we'll try to study some layers of cell wall. So yesterday we studied that there is something called as a middle lamella, The second one is going to be primary cell wall. And the third one is secondary cell wall. Excuse me. Okay, so these are all like the layers. So already we have studied about what is middle lamella. Middle lamella is going to hold neighboring cells together. Okay, what is it made up of? It is made up of calcium and magnesium pectate. So middle lamella is made up of calcium and magnesium pectate. So that is what it is made up of. So this is about middle lamella. If you guys are done copying, you let me know so that we can just move on. Okay. So the next one is your primary cell wall. Okay. So this is the cell wall that is formed during cell division. Okay. It has cellulose microfibrils running through a matrix. Okay. The matrix consists of hemicellulose, polysaccharides, okay. If you are going to talk about meristematic cells, and parenchymatous cells, have primary cell wall. Okay, I'll explain this thing. You just copy this thing down first. Then I'll take one by one and then I'll explain it to you. Are you guys done? Can I explain? That is not 1 degree. It is called as primary. Okay, so some of the shortcuts that I would be using is 1 degree in pota, this is primary. 2 pota degree pota, it is like kind of secondary. 3 with a degree symbol is tertiary. 4 with this thing, we call it as a quaternary. This is all symbols which we use in writing. Okay. Okay, so let us just start with this understanding of what is a primary cell wall. So let us say that a cell is coming. Okay, a plant cell is there. This is dividing into 2 plant cells. Okay, so immediately after that division, you will have a cell wall. So this cell wall which is there is called as the primary cell wall. So cell wall is the wall that is formed during cell division. So whenever the first formed wall in a cell is called as a primary cell wall. What is it made up of? It is made up of cellulose microfibrils. Microfibrils are smaller structures, minute structures, which are made up of cellulose. That is why we call it as cellulose microfibrils. They are running through a matrix. Okay, let me just show you a picture of a primary cell wall. Okay, so let us just see this diagram. So you see, if you are going to talk about a primary cell wall, you will have middle lamella layer in the top. Okay, followed by the layer of cell wall, and then followed by plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is what we studied earlier. So this is the primary cell wall. You are able to see there is nothing like a wall-like structure. You are able to see that there are the cellulose microfibrils are there. This fiber kind of things are there, which are now like going through what? A matrix. So it is like this. If you're going to see this thing, it will be like kind of a matrix. So this is the layer means this entire layer will be filled with the matrix. So this yellow color thing is the matrix which I'm trying to do. Show it. So in which you have the cellulose microfibrils are going like this. Like this, it will be like kind of there. So this the line is also not there. This line I'm trying to draw it only because of what some sort of definition, giving some definition. Otherwise, like it is like kind of like only the matrix. Okay, so it will be just like a layer of this thing. What is the thing? Matrix, in which this particular thing is distributed. So this is how your primary cell wall will look like. Okay, So what is this yellow color? This yellow color is the matrix. And then this, what is this red color? This red color is your cellulose microfibrils. Outside this thing, you will have the lamella. And inside the thing, you will have the plasma membrane. So this is your primary cell wall. So this is what I have given here. It has cellulose microfibrils running through a matrix. The matrix has hemicellulose, polysaccharides, and pectins. All these things will be making the matrix. You cannot call it as a non-living thing. It is just that it doesn't have any cytoplasm or cells. Okay. Basically, it will not be like having multi. I mean, like it is like not. It is made up of just random things which are like non-living. Okay. So, and then like one more thing that you need to understand is meristematic cells and parenchymatous cells will have primary cell wall. Okay. There are two types of plant cells. In 9th standard, you might have studied what is that dividing cells. The dividing cells are called as meristematic cells. Meristematic cells are one type of cells in plant which will divide. Okay. So once this meristematic cells are divided completely, it will be like kind of moving on to a permanent cell. Meristematic tissues will give rise to permanent tissues. This is there in 9th standard syllabus, tissues chapter you would have studied. So there are two types of tissues. One is meristematic tissues which will divide continuously, whose role is only to divide. And after they are dividing, it will become what we call it as permanent tissues. Okay. So these permanent tissues are of like multiple types. One of them is what we call it as parenchyma. The parenchyma is like the most common plant tissue, okay, which is useful for storing things. So this parenchyma cells and meristematic cells will not have secondary cell wall. They will have only what? Primary cell wall. So meristematic cells and parenchymatous cells will have only primary cell wall. Are we able to understand? So these are all layers. So with this thing, the primary cell wall is over. Are you guys understanding? Okay, so you can add one more point if you want. They may contain, they also contain structural proteins. They also contain structural proteins. Okay, so If you're done, we can move. The substances making it is rigid. It is not like they are not rigid. Okay. Just because I'm saying that matrix, you please understand whenever I'm saying matrix, matrix can be solid or semi-solid or like fluid. You talk about bone, bone is also made up of matrix only. Okay, your entire bone system, skeletal system is made up of matrix, and you have cells which are floating in it. You talk about your bone, you have some cells which are called as osteocyst, and then like those osteocells, osteoblasts are there. So this osteoblast is floating on your matrix, but the matrix is fluid. It is not fluid. It is like rigid in your bones. On the contrary, if you're talking about blood, blood is also a connective tissue where you have a fluid matrix. When I'm using the word matrix, it doesn't mean that the matrix has to be only fluid. Okay, that is like kind of a very can be thicker also. You imagine a plant cell, you imagine a wood, how hard it is. So that is how it is. Okay. So now what we will do is like we'll move on further. Okay, still people are asking for third slide. Just hang on, please. Yeah, I will show it in the end. Now you are like all starting to ask one by one all the slides. Okay, so we'll continue further. So we'll move on to secondary cell wall. So you have secondary cell wall. Okay. It builds up by addition of extra layers on the inner surface of primary cell wall. It consists of 3 layers of microfibrils at least. It is made stronger the deposition of hemicellulose, pectin, lignin, and suberin. Found in Parenchyma, all these are not proteins. Okay, when I'm using the word hemicellulose, pectin, lignin, suberin, they are all polysaccharides of different nature. They are all polysaccharides. You just copy down, I'll explain. Okay, so now we'll move on further. We'll try to understand how this is happening. So you see here, they have given the difference between primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. Primary cell wall, you see here, this is the middle lamella. The primary cell wall is having that fibrils and matrix. Okay. Now you see here, this is the middle lamella, then your primary cell wall. Inside to that particular thing, you are getting this secondary cell wall. The secondary cell wall, you are able to see it is made up of multiple layers. Okay, it will have at least 3 layers. That is what I told you. So when I am telling here, it is building up because of addition of extra layers. What is happening? Addition of extra layers are happening on the inner surface of the primary cell wall. So this is the inner surface. This is the inner surface. Inside the inner surface, some additional layers are being formed. This is what is called as secondary cell wall. Okay, it will consist of 3 layers of microfibrils at least. Okay, here in this particular picture, you are having 5 layers of microfibrils you are able to see. Okay, it has minimum 3 layers. Sometimes it can have 4, sometimes it can have 5, like that, it can be like that. And also they are made stronger with the deposition of some things. Like what are those some things? Hemicellulose, pectin, lignin, and suberin. You are able to see here those molecules which are interconnecting. So these molecules which are interconnecting are those molecules which we are talking about, lignin, pectin, and all. Okay, and apart from that, they are found in collenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells. Okay, out beyond that thing, you also have protein. You just see this thing. This pink color is protein. So you're also seeing proteins. You're also seeing lignins. You're also seeing pectins. So all those things are like making it up. Okay. So inside that is your plasma membrane. Are you guys clear? So this is how your secondary cell wall is. If you want, you can draw this diagram, the difference between primary and secondary cell wall. Okay, so now you have taken this thing down. I'll just give you a moment's time so that like you can copy this thing down. Are you guys done? Can we proceed? Next one is plasmodesmata. Just copy this thing down. I'll explain. They are living connection between two cells. So this is the plasmodesmata. Okay, which we also call it as symplasm. Okay, so outside this plasmodesmata, the non-living part is there. So this part, which is like not living, is called as the apoplasm. I'll explain. It's time. I haven't like said it. I'm just drawing the picture. Okay, what is plasmodesmata? Plasmodesmata are pores found between two cells. Okay, you see here, like let us say that I am having a network of chain of cells. There will be some connections in between. Okay, so those some connections which you are seeing in between is called as the plasmodesmata. So it is like kind of a bridge-like structure which is forming between two cells. So you can have bridge-like structures which is allowing movement of substances. So this bridge-like structure which I have drawn in red color, okay, is what we call it as plasmodesmata. Yesterday itself I told you. So what are they? They are thin strands of cytoplasm. Okay, they are thin strands of cytoplasm which will allow the movement of substances. So you see here, this is nothing but cytoplasm, but this is allowing that particular extension. So you see here, this is a cell. Let us say that this is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is like kind of connecting two areas. This is what we call it as plasmodesmata. Okay. Then where is middle lamella? Middle lamella is this red color thing which I have drawn. This is your middle lamella. Okay. So now you will ask me, sir, what is the difference between this thing, symplasm, plasmodesmata, and then apoplasm and all? Okay. So whenever you're talking about cells, whenever you're talking about a group of cells, you will see that there is cytoplasm, which is living part. Let us say that this is a group of cells which are there. These cells can be connected via plasmodesmata. So there can be interconnection like this. Okay. So now this entire thing which is filling inside, I have drawn it in green color. This green color is your symplasm. Okay. So outside the cells, you will have some other things which are there, which are non-living. So which means like outside this particular area, you will have some things which are like non-living. So even here in the gap also you can have this non-living things between the cells, gap of the cells. Those things we call it as a apoplasm. Okay, so whenever I'm using the word symplasm or apoplasm, the part which is living in a tissue is called as the symplasm. It is all connected with plasmodesmata. Okay, and the part which is excluded out of the symplasm is called as apoplasm. Are we able to understand? Yes, children, you have to respond. Are you guys understanding? So what is symplasm? It refers to living matter and cytoplasm that forms continuously between two cells. Okay. So what is this apoplasm? It refers to non-living matter that are found in spaces between cells. When you are having cells, let us say that like I'm not talking about multiple cells, I'm just talking about these three cells. Okay, if I'm going to talk about these three cells, let us say that these three cells are connected with plasmodesmata. Okay, so there are two things that you will be able to see. One is like a continuous flow of cytoplasm and living matter which is there running through this inside. I'm the one which I'm trying to put it in green. That is a living matter, which is associated with these three cells. Okay. And outside these three cells, the living matter, there is some kind of flow which is happening of non-living matter. So there is this middle lamella, there is this pectin, and all those things which are non-living things are there. Non-living matter which is running. So this non-living matter which I am trying to put is your apoplasm. And the living thing which I have drawn here in the green color is called as the symplasm. So now let us say that there is one more group of cells which are there. Like this. Okay. So now let us say that these two are connected in between. These two are connected in between. These two are connected in between. Again, what will you see? You will see that there will be some kind of plasmodesmata connection which is happening here, like this. And again, this will be filled with water. In between these things, the living cells will be going on. This is the green color which I am drawing is the plasmodesmata. Again, you will see here, you will see connection here. So this living matter will be flowing in between. And also you will see this non-living matter is there. So this is what is symplasm and apoplasm. Okay. So this is how this is the difference between symplasm and apoplasm. Okay, good. So apart from that, something that you need to know about cell walls. There are some areas which are called as pits in cell wall. Why do we say it as symplasm and cytoplasm are only the same thing? But what is the difference between cytoplasm? When you're talking about a single cell, we call it as a cytoplasm. Symplasm is a network basically. It is like kind of a continuous chain between multiple cells. That is what we call it as symplasm. Cytoplasm of multiple cells integrated together is what we call it as symplasm. Yeah, that's what I told you. Cell wall of certain cells are thickened unevenly with deposits of lignin. The areas that are unthickened are called pits. Okay. So if you're talking about the cell wall, if let us say that this is a cell wall, in this thing you will have this deposit of lignin. Whenever lignin is there, it is thickening the wall. But it will be like kind of not uniform. So lignin is found in the cells in some regions, and those some regions where it is not found, we call them as pit. So this is a pit, and this blue color is the lignin. Okay, so they are thickened unevenly with the deposit of lignin. So there are some areas where what you will not see, the areas that are unthickened are called as pit. So there are some left out areas. So the left out areas are called as pits. So you see here, like if I'm drawing this thing, let us say this is like lignin. Here also I have used lignin. So in between you are having this gap. This gap is called as the pit. So let us say till this thing, it is there. The gap is called as a pit. If you want, this gap is called as a pit. Okay, so with this thing, we will move on. Cell wall is completely over today. And now we will go to the next area, which is called as the cell coat. The next thing is cell coat. It is found in animal cells. It is a filamentous layer of oligonucleotides and mucoproteins. What is the cell coat? They are a complex and unique patterned chains. They contain calcium salts, silicon, etc. Okay. So you just write this thing. I will explain it to you. What is their role? It helps in cell recognition. And the second role is it protects plasma membrane. Okay. So basically, no, this is like kind of found only in animal cells. You don't see them in plant cells. So outside the plant cell, you are having outside the animal cells, you are having something called as a cell coat. Not all cells will have it. Only a few cells might have this cell coat. What is this few layers? The cell coat is a layer of oligonucleotides. What is oligonucleotides? I'll explain in the chapter biomolecules. Okay, and it is made up of mucoproteins. So you just understand that it is these two are kind of biomolecules. Okay, so what will happen is you have the plasma membrane. Outside the plasma membrane, there can be something called as a cell coat. Basically, it can have animal cells might have something called as a cell coat. What is this thing made up of? It is made up of structures which are called as oligonucleotides and mucoproteins. What are they? They are very complex and unique pattern chains. They will also contain calcium salts and silicon. What is the role? They play a major role in cell recognition. You are having this blood group and all. Whenever you're talking about blood group A positive, B positive, A positive cells are different from B positive cells. So it will play a major role in terms of recognition of the cell type. Okay. And what is the role of this particular proteins, this particular cell coat? It will also protect the plasma membrane. Okay. So they are all like very important part of cell recognition system. What is cell recognition system also? We'll study it later. You just understand that there is a coat which is called as a cell coat. So tomorrow onwards, we can start, Monday onwards, we can start endomembrane system. Okay. With this thing, I am completing my class. Thank you. First slide. Second. Third. Fourth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Bye. Sir, class mode stay.